If you've noticed in some of my recent videos, I had a different sketchbook. So the sketchbook that I've been using actually is this one here, the Fabriano, however you pronounce it, I have no idea. But this sketchbook I've done a couple of drawings in so far. The paper's pretty good. I was surprised how well it actually takes the ink, and there's not any feathering really. Don't have much of an issue with it whatsoever. The paper is pretty thin, but the quality of it's really good. It's a smooth paper and it takes ink from my rotring isographs really well. Don't have any issues with any feathering. I don't have any issues with it bleeding through the paper. I've used microns, isographs. I've used fountain pen so far. These three, and I used a off-brand of a technical pen here. Now I've used these 4 pens so far in this. Now I haven't used markers or sharpies or anything like that. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be thick enough of a paper for that. But anyways, these 4 pens, they work great. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple of the drawings that I've done so far in this one. Now I've only got like 2 or 3 in here, so it's not that many drawings. But anyways, this is what it looks like. This one's gray. I do believe they have ones of different color of covers. I think there was a red one and there's a black cover and maybe an orange that I can remember. I'll leave a link in the description of the video so you can find where you can get this online, and you can find out for yourself. And I have to look because I don't really remember what colors there were. So this one has a spiral on the side of it, which is useful for now if you're drawing, you don't have to worry about trying to hold it to the side or having the binding of it get in the way. As you can see, this sketchbook here, this one is not doesn't have the rings on it, and so it's a bit harder to keep the sketchbook open because it wants to keep coming back up. That's why I've actually got a rubber band on this one, because I had it where the rubber band was holding one part of the sketchbook and then it was having trouble staying closed. But anyways, it's got the spirals on it, got the logo, and bought this at Hobby Lobby for only $6.99. I actually got 40% off on it, so it was about maybe $4, I think. And this is made in Italy, and it is a 85 GM. It's an A5 size, and there's 70 sheets of paper in this, made in Italy, as I said. So let's go ahead and open this up, show you a couple of drawings that I have in here so far. This one is unfinished. Haven't finished this one yet. This is a stippling I did with a fountain pen at this point, my red Lamy Safari fountain pen. And the second drawing here is done with a rotring isograph 0.35, and I think it's taken me about maybe an hour and a half to draw that. It takes ink surprisingly well with rotring isographs. You don't get any of that bleeding and everything. Well, not bleeding, feathering. I keep getting the two mixed up together. But what I mean is, if you take a look at the moleskin sketchbook, whenever I make a line with a 0.35, there's a bit of feathering on the paper. It spreads out and you don't get the same width of the line. Whereas with this paper here in this sketchbook, I don't have that problem. You get the exact precise line. Now the moleskin's a really good sketchbook due to the fact that it takes the ink really well. You just barely touch the paper at all and you really get a good line, although there's a little bit of feathering. Whereas with this, you get the exact line size. Now the good thing about this is that because there's no feathering, when you're doing stippling with a rotring isograph here, the dots don't change size. They stay the exact same size. So if I take the pen and I make a small dot and I'm holding the pen there, the ink doesn't spread out, whereas in the moleskin it does that a little bit. And this is just like a organic looking doodle, abstract stuff all over the place, as you can tell. I do a lot of organic looking drawings. So that's the second one. And then I drew kind of a a border around the paper here, as you can see. And moving on to the third one. This one was done with, I think, if I can remember, was it the fountain pen or the micron? I think it, because they're about the same size. It's hard for me to remember. But I know for a fact that this one here was done with the micron. And I think this one was done with the fountain pen, I believe. Maybe. I'll have to go back and look in the video to remember. But anyways, one of these two was used for this drawing. This is more of a organic doodly thing. And there's like some... The video, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for this drawing and the next one, so you can go check that out. And in that, then you'll know which pen I used. But anyways, in the video for this, it was like called the Underworld King, and I wanted to draw something that was kind of what's the word? Kind of dark, I guess. And I was doing this on a live stream here, and I was told by a couple people that it looks like it's underwater or like a coral reef. Some of the designs that's in it. Yeah, there's the guy I drew, and there's like his throne and whatnot. So on to the next one here. This is the last one in the sketchbook so far. This is more of a organic coral reef, but this one has like stuff moving around in it. Looks like water splashing or something. I'm still trying to figure out what is going through my mind when I'm doing these drawings. So far it's a bit all over the place. It's kind of hard for me to really remember, but yeah, I tend to draw better if I don't really think too much about what I'm drawing. I just create whatever, more relaxed. But the sketchbook is working great for me so far. And this drawing here, use a micron 0.5 for it. Don't get any feathering whatsoever so far with this. It works pretty good. So if you want a sketchbook that doesn't have any feathering and that isn't expensive and is easy to carry around, and also has these spirals on the side, so that it's easier to keep the sketchbook open, as I can show you here. So when you're drawing, you don't have to worry about trying to hold the sketchbook open all the time as you would with other type of sketchbooks. And the paper is pretty thin, but it's just thick enough to where it can take ink from fountain pens. Although if you have a fountain pen with a larger nib, such as a Noodles Ahab Fine or a Noodles Ahab Medium, you might run into problems with the ink bleeding onto the next page of the paper. But when I'm doing the drawings in this one so far, I've been using extra fine, and I haven't had any issues with it bleeding onto the next page. And the micron, it doesn't let out as much ink as it will with a fountain pen. So although this is a larger nib than the fountain pen, there's no bleeding because of that. And so yeah, this is a pretty good sketchbook. I like it so far, and I plan on filling it up completely. I've got, let's see here, 1, 2 drawings complete. That one's mostly done here, and I have another one to finish. So I've got 68.5 pages to fill still. I'm working on my little pentalic sketchbook here. It's maybe a quarter of the way full, and when I'm done with them, I'll show you all the drawings in it. I'll do the same with this one here. So go ahead and let me know in the comments down below if you own the sketchbook, what you think of it, and if you have any advice or about what pens work best in it, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And I'm gonna go to work on some drawings in the sketchbook and see what I can create. Until then, thank you for watching, and you have a good day. See ya.